This is a follow-up video to the San Diego Comic-Con reveal we talked about 2 days ago, which regards the Transformers Generation Siege 10-pack of Micromasters, and how I'm excited that some of the guesses that I took were actually correct because of the obscurity of some of those characters. Now, we finally got a nice shot of the back of the box, and it shows the Autobot, Decepticon kind of balance here and all the different characters and some very interesting choices that I should have seen, but for some reason I was like distracted by a little paint deco or something. So we'll just get into that essentially. So we'll start with we'll do like top left and go down. So the one of Road Police, I guessed that one, and I was like, wow, I'm actually happy that it's Road Police because that's a really obscure character that just has had zero characterization outside of some story pages and Operation Combination. And he's always been a really cool character. The only thing I'm kind of sad about is they didn't try to do his yellow tie, like that little paint deco. Just could have done a little bit of orangey yellow down the center of his chest. Could have made his tie. But otherwise, I mean, that's really cool that they did Road Police, and they even they did their best to try to capture his deco using the Holly / stakeout mold. The next one, Wheelblaze, I was right, but I was off by a little bit. So I guessed 2 days ago that he was going to be part of that this was based off of the Metro Squad character of Roadburner, which is the back end, because that's the back end's the one that has, like, I guess you could call it the fireman ladder. But they went with the front end, which is Wheelblaze, because he was a Micromaster Combiner. So close enough, but I mean, Wheelblaze works too because the front end matches more the front of Red Hot over here with the mold that he was based from. So still pretty awesome. Then we got Ground Shake. That was a given. I mean, the deco on that and the colors and everything, it was pretty obvious that it was going to be Ground Shake, and I was right on that one too. Here's one that, shame on me, I should have seen this, but when I looked at it, the photos that we had of the little Micromaster, I was so distracted by the chest deco and the coloring, and I was like, man, what is it trying to be here? And I didn't really get a good shot of the alt mode, and if I would have saw those little lightning bolts, I think that would have set me off a little more, because there's little lightning bolts on the original Generation 1 Overair on his tail rudders. So, but that's what it's based on. It's based on Overair, which was a Micromaster base, I guess, a companion, had one of the Micromaster bases from Zone. So it's cool to see him also get a figure. It seems to be a little bit of a theme with this box set. There's a lot of Micromaster base partners here. Next one here, and this one's involves a little bit of thinking. So here we have Recon, this red pickup truck, not pickup truck, like van, if you will, and it's a repaint of the previous one. And a lot of people were speculating. I was like, oh man, maybe they'll just throw a trademark of Ironhide on this or something. Some people were like, oh, maybe it's going to be a long version of Micromaster Tote, because they just had nothing they could do with that mold, pretty much. I believe his name was High Jump. But they're like, no, you know what? We're going to go with something really, really, really obscure. So now I'll get into it when we go his partner here. So his partner, Irontread, again, no surprise. It's an homage to the original Micromaster, again, base former team of Ironworks. But here's something interesting. So the original Ironworks toy, if you go look at it, on his, I guess you could call his trailer hitch, he had a sticker that said RE Construction. And RI Construction is short for Rhode Island Construction. So now you slide back here to Recon, and Recon is kind of the same thing. If you look at it, like, Recon could be RI Con or Rhode Island Construction. So I think it's a big in-joke with Rhode Island and where Transformer toys originate from, pretty much. And that's what I think it is. I mean, I could be looking into it a little bit, but I think that's because he's paired off with Ironworks here, or Ironhead in this case. I think that they're just going like, you know what? There's not many characters we could call this. I think Tote would have worked too, but I mean, they're just like, you know what? We'll go with the old Rhode Island nod and wink here. We'll go to the top right here. Again, another one that I should have guessed, and shame on me, again, because of how small the image was, and it was just the alt mode in the picture that we saw. I should have guessed this one, but it's the one of Nightflight. And this is a good one because this gets you one step closer to completing your Airstrike Patrol, because we already have had released in a 2-pack of Stormcloud and Whisper, or as Hasbro trademarked it, Visper. So now we got one more member. We're one away now, and I guess if we get Sunrunner, we could do a repaint, and then we could get the other member of the Airstrike Patrol from the Sunrunner mold, and that'll be that. But so that's really cool to get, like, we're one. I think they're... So far, we have not had a complete 4-pack of anybody yet from the original Micromaster, so they're getting pretty close, and I think this one might be it. Here's one that I guessed, and it was pretty much a given, again, because of the deco and the little paint applications on the wings of Skyhopper, or in this case, they called it Slyhopper. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm going to get into something interesting about all of this afterwards. And the last two, just original names, just because the Japanese names, I guess they didn't want to go with them. So we have Crepe Maker and we have Fireline from the 2 Zone exclusive paint decos of Flak and Direct Hit. So, you know, it is what it is. I guess they couldn't go with Gunlift. You know, maybe the names just were from the Japanese version. But here's the thing. Here's the thing with all of these in the end. What I noticed here is none of these guys have trademarks next to their name or registrations. Now, I could be wrong here because, like, when I'm looking at the rest of the box, at the top and left and top right, Autobot and Decepticon don't have trademarks next to them. On the bottom right here where they show the cross promote with Red Alert, there's no trademark next to it. So I don't know, because sometimes Hasbro's done this in the past where when they have kind of one-shot characters and stuff like that, sometimes they just put names on them and they don't trademark them because they don't care about the name and the trademark. But in this case, I don't know. These look like these were probably trademarked names, but we don't know for sure because they don't have the trademarking next to them. Usually you could see the little, the little trademark logo next to it. It's almost always common on packaging, but it's kind of absent here. So I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something here. But so now we have a very good look at the names and who they're trying to make a nod to, and this is really great. Again, I am so excited. Like, Micromasters were a large part of my childhood growing up with Transformers. I mean, I started with 1985 Blaster and kind of worked my way up from there, but it was just this one birthday that I had growing up, and I just got a whole bunch of those Micromasters. And then on top of that, like at school, other kids had Micromasters, and we used to, like, almost kind of use them what they were intended for, like trade and collect. So I remember I used to, like, trade some of my Micromasters to get, like, oh, I really wanted to have, like, not First Aid. I traded for the Micromaster Fix-It, also known as Peepo in Transformers Victory. And, like, I forget who I traded him for. I think it was one of the military patrol guys. But I just remember, like, I got so many of them just trading and everything like that. Never had any Micromaster Combiners. Had to trade some of mine to get like the ones that I have today and stuff. And I just have very good memories of Micromasters and pocket-sized Transformers. And I guess when Minicons came out, I really got into that too because it was just something that hit close to home. But this is great. This is super cool. I definitely dig this. I hope this will be something that won't be too crazy expensive for people because it's a really good I hope they'll do it like a value pack. You know what I mean? Like you get something that would have been the equivalency of like the Micromaster price point, but it won't be the Micromaster price point of 2 packs times 5 in this case. I'll hope that they do it something that's a little lower, and people will be able to enjoy it, and just all these great little characters and stuff. And I mean, Road Police, like we got Road Police, that's a Japanese exclusive character. We got the 2 Zone repaints that are Japanese exclusive characters. Then we got a whole bunch of base former, Micromaster characters. And then we got a few standalones, you know what I mean, in that Overair and Nightflight, who were standalone 4-pack characters from back in the day. So I really like what's going on here. And Recon, who's just I guess that, he'll be everyone's stand-in tote. But, I mean, he really is just there just to be like, hey, remember Rhode Island? So this is so cool. I love this. Hopefully we'll get to some more news as it starts leaking throughout the day.